Howdy y'all, Dean Stilley here from the official home of unofficial Grateful Dead music news, reporting on Saratoga. Listen, the band just killed it all weekend in Chicago, so they're up against it a little bit, had a little time to rest, that's nice. And now they're here at SPAC, musical history. Listen, just anytime the Grateful Dead played SPAC back in the day, just listen to any of them, they're all good. Really, that place was just a strong venue for them for whatever reason. Beautiful place to be there in Saratoga. The dude from '83, that dude's a motherfucker. That's one of the classics, probably all time, is Phil taking concrete out of the building with the bombs he was dropping on that one. Technical difficulties, I don't think a board exists of that show. Could be mistaken, but I think they had some problems there and the board doesn't exist. There's supposed to be a mystery board, only a few people have, but I don't know if I buy it or not. I like to think maybe it exists, but I'm not so sure it does. Anyway, we get this night started here with Dead & Company. Dead & Company, they haven't really been much like the Grateful Dead at all. They've laid up a couple stinkers there in consecutive years at SPAC, and I get it. If you were there, they were the best shows ever, and that's fucking great. Get yourself a YouTube channel. Anyway, the stinker streak was broken tonight because listen, I don't know if we're going to get a stinker on this tour. I don't even know if it's going to happen. They're playing good. Everything is sounding really good right now. They open it up. You get Stranger and Hell in a Bucket, which is kind of strange to me because that's two weird openers that you get back to back. So I don't know. Pick one or the other. It really doesn't matter. That's fine. You do whatever the fuck you want, and I'll just talk about it. As not really criticism. We're just analyzing. We're not criticizing. We're having fun talking about the music. Hell in a Bucket, they stepped on their dicks a little bit. Whatever, have a little bit of a challenge getting. They've been wrestling with that one a little bit. Love that the end of Bucket, they got it all together. On the stream, I see my friend Michelle Romero, the queen of cannabis. She's singing the falsetto line with Weir at the end of that, and there she is on the stream. I saw her, Michelle. You were on the stream rocking it out. You were doing falsetto with Bob, and I love you long time. We'll see you soon. Listen, we get Alabama Getaway after that. Alabama Getaway is kin to Mr. Charlie. Two songs that are great, but it just seems like maybe there's no way to extend them. They're just gone. As you have a good time, and then they're over. Masterpiece, great to see that. In the set, working its way into the set there. That sounded good. Weir went super long on the Coca-Cola. Really, I think we're all happy when Masterpiece gets back into the set. So another high part of the first set for me is Jon on It Must Have Been the Roses. Listen, I meant to talk about this a little bit the last time I did a review here. The first time they did it, that song kind of lives right next to that area where Jon's got no voice. So the vocal surgery, he got that little piece of range that's just gone. And that song kind of lives right there. He's right on the tightrope walking that one. And to me, the way he strains against it to get that song done, really it gives to the song. It gives life and depth to the song. And for me, I love hearing him straining against that throughout different parts of Must Have Been the Roses. I thought he was outstanding. He was almost late coming in. I don't know. It seemed like it was almost like a mistake, but then I really, Garcia did that naturally. You know, how many times you've been in the show, you thought the next verse was coming up, and Garcia was a step or two behind you. He'd enter a step or two before you thought he was coming, and that was just natural to him, and that really is stretched out our minds musically, is just a beautiful thing. It kind of happened a little bit there the beginning of Must Have Been the Roses, and I thought it was great. Anyway, when you're up against some natural, some kind of a challenge in your natural being, it kind of takes something supernatural to carry you through that. And when I look at Jon singing Must Have Been the Roses, boy, he's right there where in his natural talent, he's got some limitations, and it requires something supernatural to kind of get you through there smoothly, and he did just that. I thought it was outstanding. Cumberland's up next. That one's always going to be a good time. Listen, you get to Cumberland, boy, the music is bouncing all over the place like a pinball. Those jams are going crazy. O'Teal shaking his ass like he's at a booty club. I mean, this is a good time, boy. This is everybody up there having a blast. Jeff just killing it. I mean, he's throwing notes all over the fucking place. Really, that was insane the way they got that one going. I was having a ball over here. Mickey's just waving his dildos around, throwing those spatulas all over the place. Really, everybody was in it to win it. That one was a good one. Cassady gets up next. Cassady, really, there's just that tight core energy with just the music just like flames all around it, and that's kind of how Cassady was. Those jams were great. Really, the core stayed nice and tight, and as tight as it can in a song that kind of breathes like that, and the music just came off of it like flames. I thought Cassady was great. You get U.S. Blues to close the set. Nothing wrong with that. It sounded good there. So really, we get done with the first set, and I think, well, goodness gracious, we're finally getting a roaster there at Saratoga. It's about time. To come out for the second set, Here Comes Sunshine's up next. Here Comes Sunshine. I'm not crazy about Mayer's vocal on that, but outstanding the way they played it. The whole band, really, they gave that one an extended treatment. I thought Jon was outstanding on that. Shakedown's up next, and Shakedown, it seems like the traffic cleared up on Shakedown. We got things moving along just fine. This is a little different than the ballad that they've made a Shakedown a few times. This one's moving along just fine. Very interesting. Just in the jam of that. I like when that jam sometimes goes on for a long, long time. Jon just started deconstructing that jam. Him and Bill just started deconstructing that jam. That thing just kind of, it was like an octopus falling down a flight of stairs. It was just, and then it melted right into Wharf Rat. So I thought it was beautiful the way they did that. Wharf Rat is not one of my favorites on Dead and Company, really, but I think they did a good job on it. I think it was better than it usually is, which is poor, but I thought it was much better than that. The harmony still, so, we're going to get later in the show, the end of Wharf Rat. O'Teal, he's damn near solo in there. He's that jam is kind of carrying itself out, and you see him on the stream. He doing all kinds of crazy shit at the end of that. Mayor jamming, making faces like he's lifting weights. This is a good time. So you get playing next. The playing's fine, and you get Uncle John's. Really, this is just a couple that's been walking hand in hand for a long, long time. And when I look at how I feel about Wharf Rat, the harmonies on Wharf Rat, then you look at Uncle John's. The harmonies on Uncle John's, I think, are really good. So I don't know if you agree or not, but I think the harmonies on Uncle John's are really good. And that's when Weir is a little false, and John's in his natural. Boy, those are some good harmonies there through Uncle John's. That was proper homage to a classic couple. Homage. Sometimes they do some homage. There's some fucking homage to Dear Prudence, but we'll get to that. Drums is fun. Space is a good time. They get to Viola Lee, right? I'm worried because out of space, the chord that just fires off Viola Lee's only half tank. It was not nearly as grungy as we're accustomed. It was like a half tank chord, and I was concerned that the whole tune was going to end up just being a half tank experience. And it was great. That's a fun one. Great place for it there out of space. I thought that was outstanding. Jon did a good job on that as always. A little bit shorter than I'd like it to be. I like when that jam, they just can carry on with that one as long as they want. And, I'd be happy. You get Dear Prudence up next. The musical parts I think of Dear Prudence were great. I've never been crazy about Weir singing that one. If I checked into a hotel and Weir was over there on a couch playing Dear Prudence all by himself, no one there, I think I would just roll my luggage to the elevator and I would just go up to my room. I don't even think I'd stop to listen, but listen, when this band's playing it, the music behind it was great. I gotta say, I liked it more. Maybe it's growing on me, maybe. I liked it more than I usually do, which isn't hard, but I think I liked it more than I did. The musical parts of it were fantastic. There's no doubt about that. You get Casey Jones to close the show. That's a complete set there. That's a complete show. This was good stuff. I mean, really, we just like to talk about some things and how we heard the music, and from my perspective, this was all sounding really good. To come out for the encore for the first time, Jon put something stupid on his head. Looks like fucking honky Aunt Jemima out there. What's funny is if you go to like a mayor event, the young kids, they all got that fucking Aunt Jemima thing on their head. Trying to be John Mayer. That's funny. Anyway, first time at a tour we get to see him put something silly on his head. Nothing wrong with that. Midnight Hour. Love that. Somebody on my page today was, they were saying Midnight Hour. They were calling it for an opener, but hey, that's a solid call. That one shows up for the first time this tour. You're going to love Midnight Hour. That's a great time. You get the play-in reprise to finish things off. That's a complete show there. I think SPAC was great. I really, like I said, there's some little hiccups or things that you could talk about, but overall, the quality of the music coming from Dead & Company this tour is outstanding. Another strong night. I don't know if we're going to get a stinker this tour. We might not even. This could be a stinkerless tour. I hate to put pressure on the band. Not that they really have any pressure or give a shit, or not that they fucking care what the hell I got to say, because I'm absolutely certain they don't, but it might be a stinkerless tour. This could really be a tour without a stinker. It's shaping up to be that way so far. SPAC was good. They broke the stinker streak there. Show was awesome. Loved it. We'll talk to you soon. I guess Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. We'll see you when we see you. Love you long time.